So that is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So that is like PTSD, but that occurs from over a longer period of time. It's not just like one incident with like PTSD. Hugely affect EBV. In fact, I've worked with quite a lot of people that have PTSD, and if you've watched the mini course, and I explain in video 5 about how I actually heal it, and as you go through the mini course, it talks about being stuck in sympathetic nervous system dominance. The key to healing EBV is taking someone out of that state. So if somebody had that PTSD, they are constantly stuck in this like fear cycle, or it's almost like in their brain there's different pathways through the amygdala and different brain structures. When someone has PTSD, it's like it gets stuck in a loop on itself. It's like replaying the past or the stressful incident. So with EBV uses our own stress responses to heighten itself, to build up over time. So that's the key to healing it. You would have to heal that issue, but with the CPTSD, you would have to know like what was, what occurred around it. You'd have to look at the situation and what it represents. So what's the trigger through the amygdala? So, I even have people in healing talk to me about they've kind of had a lot of stress, and EBV's built up because of that, right? So what they'll do is they'll just try and release or step away from the stress in their life, and they'll go, I'll just kind of not work for a while. I'll create this kind of, peaceful haven that nothing will re-trigger my amygdala or re-trigger me into that fight or flight response. The point is, that doesn't really work, because you haven't fixed the underlying cause for the triggers or why your amygdala associates fear or stress to whatever the situation is. You actually have to reprogram those brain structures to hold almost like a different view on things. So this is what I do when I heal people. It's so much more than almost like just looking at EBV. Like obviously, I have to look at organs and glands. I look at all the different structures in the body, and I have to get the body to acknowledge the Epstein-Barr virus to actually start reducing it. But part and parcel of doing that is finding people's triggers. So if somebody was to eliminate their life and take away all these stressful events, this is why EBV is really hard to heal. You might reduce it because you get your body hopefully in a place where it can start to recover itself. But as soon as life happens again, you just replay the stress, and then it's the stress that builds up to allow EBV to build up. So it's really actually about looking at healing. Key triggers, key things in your life, why did the stress build up in the first place? So sorry, I've kind of talked a lot around that question, but yes, Tanya, definitely it has a massive effect on EBV. It would be the breeding ground for just EBV to, constantly build up.